to move away from PowerPoint, and I will be showing you our tools on our website that you can use to help in these conversations once you've narrowed down the priorities. These are all available on our advisor site. So these are available to you once you have an advisor site login. If you do not have one already, I'd be happy to help you get one set up. That's just with our web services team. So this first one is a key person calculator. Everything is done through a digital request for proposal. So this is what the key person one looks like. And you just need to enter your data as the financial professional, the business data, the value of the business, the employee's compensation, and then some insurance and debt information. So once you've filled out these criteria, we're able to have an immediate output of this report that you can go over with your client. So this report explains how a key person policy works. It determines the right amount of coverage and gives you this spreadsheet that looks at the total number of employees in the business, the key employees, compensation, and what protection they may need. So we recommend a minimum of a 3 times multiple for key person. So as you can see, if the compensation was $200,000 at a base level, we'd be looking at $600,000 of coverage, and these are typically term insurance policies. And this explains why you would do each coverage level based on the multiple of salary, and then what that annual premium looks like. So you'd be able to do that RFP with your client in like 5 minutes, and then you would have this output to help you go over with them. And it just is a really sleek and compact way to see how these plans work, what the cost is, and what the benefit is. The next one I'll touch on is our business needs assessment. This one, you would send an email to your client and they would go through and rank their business priorities, similar to what I was talking about earlier in the slides. And you can do this alongside them, or they can do it on their own. And this one is a bit more of a simple output, but we can highlight those cautionary points of things that they may have mentioned. So they maybe indicated that they haven't had their business valued recently. So we want to look at getting them a business valuation, that they don't have a buy sell. So that's something they would need to do. This would be, they're not sure if the business is financially protected, or they're unsure if they would be financially protected from the loss of a key employee. And then we'll also highlight things that they are doing well, like they know when they want to transfer the business and what that transition may look like. So based on the owner's inputs into the email or going through this with them, we would then link them to the tools that may be helpful for next steps. So in this case, they really didn't know much about their business value. And so we would request that they do a business valuation with principal. And that's all complimentary. So the next one would be to see the actual business valuation. And for this is what the request for proposal look like. This is the most involved RFP because we need 3 years of financials. So for this one, they would enter the business information, the financial professional information, and then we would request those financial documents. This can be done for just doing a business valuation or a buy-sell review, or we can do it for both the business valuation and buy-sell review. This one does not have an immediate output. It's like a 2-week turnaround time. And once this report is completed, you and the owner would get an email from our advanced solutions team to set up a meeting to review the report. That is optional. You're also just given the report as is. So you can go through it with the business owner on your own, or you can go through it with the help of our attorneys and CPAs to talk through how they came to these calculations, the valuation methods, and what may be needed. So this is a marketing piece as much as it is a report. So we are talking through the components of effective planning, how these plans work for business protection and for helping owners. And so these are all just those educational pieces on how these things work. I know I'm flying through this trying to get to the actual customized report. So this is for an example company profile in the construction industry. We know that it's an S corporation. They've been in business 25 years. They have 50 to 100 employees, and it's a family-owned business. So we'll look at their financial statement summary based on the documents they provided and see what that's looked like over the last 3 years. Are they trending as a growing business? Are they declining in sales? Is it staying the same? And then with that, we're able to come into that valuation. So we use 5 generally accepted methods of valuation to determine what the business value would be. So we can see this is the adjusted book value, the capitalization of earnings, excess of earnings, discounted future cash flow, and the multiple of discretionary earnings. We see the assumptions for the calculations, look at the different methods of how they came to that outcome, and then we can look at what is needed. So this is for owner protection, looking at succession planning, key person protection for owners, debt coverage protection. For transition planning, we want to look at different buy-sell options and buy-sell agreements. We can see this output shows percent of ownership, the value of their ownership today, and estimated future value to make sure that they have their buy-sell completely updated and having full coverage based on percent of ownership. We can look at the different buy-sell options. So this is for a cross-purchase. This is recommended specifically because it is a 2-owner group in this case. And we can look at the buy-sell funding methods, what the methods look like, what does it look like to fund buy-sells with life insurance versus with cash. And then if it's a family-owned business, we have specific information and reporting on that, on different plan types for that, like if they do an inheritance equalization plan. And then estate tax considerations. And then there's also plans on our disability plans and our life insurance plans are both included on these reports. So the different options for those plans. This is like a 40-page report. So I'm just showing you a sample of it. There is a ton of really helpful information on this, whether it's for you as the financial professional who's done this a bunch of times, or if it is for this business owner who's just starting to digest what these plans look like and what they can do for them. It's just a lot of educational pieces and then those specific customized reports. So like I said, you can either do this on your own with your client, but I highly recommend doing this with our advanced solutions team. They're super helpful in talking through the more complex plan designs, and especially with the buy sells, or if they end up doing non-qualified deferred comp, they're just really helpful to review these plan types and talk specifically about where a specific business is at and talk with the owners on the owner's concerns. So this can lead to a lot of conversations, which can end up leading to a lot of sales. So I can send everyone the customer opportunities, the checklist, and then I have a complete piece on all of the things I went over today. And then we have some additional ones that cover like specific to agriculture business or different, maybe more unique company structures.